Alright, Diablo players, it's time to talk about it. Those mythic items. How can we farm these in Season 10? What are the new methods and new ways that you guys are going to be able to get it in Season 10? So for starters, I want to start off with the bad things first, as in you do not want to do these. Whether you see any like, shorts or TikToks where like someone's doing something, they get it off of these, do not think that it's realistic to just open it off of the Whisperers or doing Obols or doing open world content, Nightmare Dungeons, just playing or doing the Helltide. Also, I wanted to let you guys know something. It's kind of a meme in the community for some people. They say that if you pet the animals, it gives you a boost in your mythic drop rate or magic find. This is just a meme. Basically, all of these are bad, okay? If you want to farm the mythics, there are a few methods that are actually good, and the rest of them are honestly so bad, it's like basically trying to find a winning lottery ticket inside of the trash can. It is actually that rare. So, what are the good ones now? The good ones, okay? So the best farming methods, these ones are all repeatable, as there are some that you can only do one time. So for starters, the number one best one, I want to start off with what's called the tributes. There is a tribute called the Tribute of Ascendance, and there are ones that are called United. If it's just the solo one, which says that it's just the person that opens it up gets the rewards versus all participating players, then just go in by yourself because no one else gets the reward. However, if you get this item, which is called the Tribute of Ascendance, which you can just get by playing the game, you can get it by turning in Whispers, but the highest drop chance for this one in particular is to do the world bosses. And how it works is that you're going to go to the Undercity. This does require you to have the expansion, so if you do not have the expansion, this method does not work, but this is the number one highest drop rate. And we don't have the official like in-game data for these, but the average is about 20 to 25%, and you want to do these in what's called a rota, so it's a rotation. You want to do this in a group. And so if you're like, well, I don't know where to find people, there is the in-game search, but I'm going to keep it real. The people that use that aren't necessarily the best players, and sometimes they're very slow. The best method is to go to the Sanctuary Discord for Diablo 4. If you just go ahead and do a quick search for it, you'll find it. It's called Sanctuary. And what you want to do, in the very beginning, it'll ask if you play like softcore or hardcore. It might have like some preferences, but basically, you want to go to this Discord and find a group. And then what you want to do is you want to go to the section that is for whatever you're doing. So what it stands for is SC stands for softcore, LFG means looking for group, and then you want to go to where it says Undercity. You're going to see a whole bunch of people put up their battle tag, and kind of the lingo here is looking for 3 more here, Tormented 4. Everyone only does these on Tormented 4, by the way. And they'll do what's called a rota. So what a rota is specifically looking for other people that want to do a rotation. Now keep in mind, there are sometimes people that advertise for other things, like this guy's looking for like amulet passive or whatever. But specifically, the thing that most people use this little tab here for, and again, if you're playing hardcore, it would be HC, but again, most people are doing softcore. So you want to go to this area and then either add someone that has it. Remember, you also need to have one. Don't be a scumbag and go in and not use it. I would say 99% of the time it's fine, but sometimes what happens is if you make this, someone will join your group and they will not have these. So one suggestion that I can suggest for you guys is to have everyone link it in the chat. This requires you to hit like shift click it and then it'll appear in the chat, so that way all of you guys have them. And sometimes people will have like, let's say 2 of these and they're okay with popping it, but ideally what you want to try to do is find every single person to at least have one. Maybe they're playing with a friend and their friend doesn't have one, so just try to make sure that everyone has that in your group, because you could be losing out on basically a mythic. This is basically the highest drop chance in the entire game, and it only takes like 2 minutes to do. It's by a long shot the best. The second best method is to sit there and farm the Exalted and Tormented bosses again and again on the highest difficulty, which is T4. You want to ideally try to do Belial, and if you're wondering why Belial, is because he has kind of like the easier phase. Make sure that you guys have someone to actually carry, or if you guys all have enough DPS to just one-shot him. That is kind of the key here, and you farm these hundreds of times. As far as it goes, if you're wondering kind of what's the drop chance, it's like a 1 to 2% drop chance. But you want to do a lot of these in a group. It doesn't have to be the Belial boss, but if you do some of the other bosses, if you are in a party, it increases the chance for Belial to spawn in, and then once you defeat Belial, you then get the husks, which means that you can do Belial again. So it depends on which boss that you're doing. Doesn't really matter which one that you do. The other bosses also have a small chance to drop, and Andariel is actually farmable. That is an update to Season 10 that I figured I'd go ahead and mention, because some of you guys maybe been playing this game for a while and you're like, oh my gosh, Andariel, I don't want to do that one. You can actually farm all of them. If you have the DPS, you can one-shot the bosses, and it's really, really awesome. And so there's an update with Season 10, and that's kind of one of the best updates, is you can one-shot some of the annoying bosses. And then the other method is to do the bounty board. This is 100% guaranteed for a spark. A spark is a crafting material to allow you guys to actually craft the unique, and it requires 2 to craft a random one, or 2 plus a set of runes to actually guarantee the mythic that you want. This one, you can keep on making new heroes, so you can technically do this again and again. You will have to make a new character, but this is 100% chance to get a spark, which means that you would have to do this 2 times. And on average, I would say, if you kind of like are a slow player, maybe like 8-ish hours per run. But if you could knock, one mythic out in, like, let's say a weekend, it's really not that bad. Don't worry about people like farming like 10 mythics at night. I can do that, but I get it that, like, I want to keep your expectations realistic. If you guys are making a brand new character for this method, ideally you would get power leveled, and then you could knock this out a lot faster. Or you could turn in your reputation on a brand new character. There's like a new thing for Season 10 that allows you to turn in your reputation, and you could basically max this thing out. So this is kind of what it looks like. It's in Yelsna. It's an area where there is an NPC, and you could go talk to the NPC, and you could get these warp scrolls with the seasonal currency, and this will allow you to fly through and get all of the stuff to craft the mythic. But I want to go ahead and go over also the season journey as well as Lilith, as this will give you a spark as well. If you guys don't know, you just need to kill Lilith one time. This is a one-time thing, so I want to go over some of the one-time ones. So the one-time only ones are going to be the Season Journey and Lilith. These are the 2 ones that you want to try to do. If you guys don't know what Tormented Lilith is, there's also a group that will let you just join. Most people don't care about this. It's such an easy thing to do. It takes literally a few seconds. You only need to do this on Tormented 1, so you don't have to go all the way up, and Lilith is actually way easier. They have actually updated this in Season 10, where you only need to go, again, Tormented 1, but it's so easy now. So just go ahead and kill Lilith, and she will guarantee drop a spark as well. So that'll give you 1 spark, and then also the Season Journey will also grant you an additional spark. This is only done 1 time per season. So that's 2 sparks, which allow you to, again, craft any of the ones that you want, and then also at the end of the Season Journey, you will then get a spark for the reputation board. So this is repeatable on a separate character, while this is only 1 time per account. Keep in mind, the new season, once we get Season 11, then you can get another spark, but obviously you're not going to really save your sparks. You just want it now, right? So I totally get that. And another thing to mention is that you can craft a random one with the blacksmith, but my suggestion is just go to the NPC, the jeweler, and you guys can see that you can craft any of the mythics over here. Now, just as a heads up, it also requires a bunch of runes. This is kind of the pain point over here. Now, keep in mind, you can trade for runes as well as your boss materials. What you can do is you will utilize your gold to buy these off of other players. The website that I can recommend is diablo.trade. I have a video guide that I will also link, just in case any of you guys were like, hey, I don't happen to have the Tribute of Ascendance. I really want to farm the bosses. I don't have a group. What are the other methods? So I would say, as far as it goes, I would really recommend you guys to just use the Diablo trade website, and any items that you get that are kind of good, you would then sell it for gold. Then you take your gold and you go purchase the boss materials if you're kind of like more of a solo player. As most of the things I've suggested, it's best to do in a group, but you can, again, power level like your friend, and then they can have yourself get power leveled, so you guys can kind of power level each other and keep on making new characters. This is actually a pretty valid strategy. There's a lot of Discord groups that also do power levels for power levels, and the reason why people do that is, again, they just want to go ahead and turn in that reputation, and they just do this again and again to just keep on farming the mythics. They just complete this bounty board again and again. And what you can do is you can actually use the same character. I'm going to suggest making new characters because it's just a lot more fun that way, but you can farm up a bunch of the warp, and then buy, I think it's 90 scrolls, and then just max out immediately. That is another method, so you can kind of like power level a brand new character through that method. And also you can save up a bunch of the caches from like the Tree Whispers turn-in, and then you can max out another character and have another max level character. But what you can also do is create the same exact class and have someone power level you to max level, which isn't that hard. So let's say you're like Paragon 200, and then you just get power leveled, and then you can take your gear that you have on your main character and just transfer it over to your other character. The one thing that does suck with the strategy, you still got to fill in the skill tree, you still got to go ahead and put in all the Paragon points, and you also have to level up the glyphs, which usually you skip out on the glyphs, and you just farm open world content, and that can also facilitate just getting all the reputation up. But there's a ton of different methods in Season 10, and this is like a really good thing that has returned. Like, this bounty board is so fantastic that I can easily recommend this for most players, as this is something that has no RNG. Remember, it gives you a spark, and you will need 2 of the sparks to get specifically the requirements, and then you need to also get the runes, which is kind of a pain point. So if you just want to RNG it, go to the blacksmith. Now, if you guys are wondering, well, what about the runes? You can also trade the runes, but there's also another thing where you can use the tributes inside, and this will also, in the Undercity, grant those runes as well. But it's random, but you can always look into the trade channel. A lot of times people will trade like Vex for Ohms or very specific runes for other runes. It kind of depends on what's the most popular one. But I want to also leave you guys with this video, which is the Season 10 Best Mythics video. If you guys want to see what are the best mythics to craft, it's basically, though, just to sum it up, there are certain class exceptions, but Ring of the Starless Skies and Era Perdition are pretty much the top 2. Shroud of False Death, unfortunately, isn't the greatest this season with a lot of builds because of the Chaos Uniques, but it's still not a bad one to go ahead and craft. But check out that video because it's class dependent if you guys want to know which ones are the best ones to craft. But pretty much for Diablo 4, it's always Harlequin, Ring of the Starless Skies, Shroud of False Death, and those are kind of the ones that you want to play, as well as Era Perdition. But that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell to be updated once Season 11 comes out. If there's other methods, I will update you guys on that. But pretty much, those are the best ways to actually farm the Mythics. But take care, and I'll catch you gamers in the next video. Peace out.